But when you have that Eagles team, that was a game that I felt like fully healthy, the Rams could have won. Now there were fumbles in that game. It kind of snowballed being there and everything. You could really feel it. The momentum just went completely one-sided when Saquon broke that run. But I just feel like that Jets game kind of taught them how to win in that environment. I mean, that was the coldest game of Sean McVay's career. Yeah. I believe that was the coldest game of Stafford's career. And like you're saying, like with Jalen Hurts, and I don't even know if they're going to make it. But it's really interesting to me because if they do play each other, to me, that is the worst matchup for the Rams. That's the only place that you were going. I mean, Tampa, right? But really, that's the only place that you're going to go where the elements are really going to play a factor. Tampa's outside, but Florida is not going to be as cold as Philly in January, right?
So, yeah, but I mean, you could make an argument. I think you could make an argument with how this Rams team is built that they actually have a better chance in Philly than they do in SoFi.
Wow,
I actually believe that because, in my opinion, when you play a team like Philly, who is as good as they are on the perimeter with the receivers, and you're on turf, and Saquon Barkley and an offensive line. Like I know for myself, when you're an offensive lineman on turf, your footing's so freaking good. And when you're that dominant up front on both sides of the football, receiving the football, the skill sets they have, Saquon Barkley, this offensive line, Jalen Hurts. We think of even Kyler Murray in the past when he's come to SoFi, that really some of the performances he's been able to have just because you have such good footing and you're so hard to get on the ground. That it is challenging to win there sometimes for them, just how they're built specifically. But to go on the road, play in the grass and a little bit of bad environment weather, I mean, this is what the Rams are. They possess the football. They're going to run it. They're going to try and win the time of possession. Can you force a couple turnovers, some fumbles because the ball's slick? It's bad environment. I just think that the Rams are built to kind of win in some of those type games. Now, have they struggled to put up points on the road? Yes. But I just think when you're talking about playoff football, all you need is a couple breaks to go your way, and you're built to possess it and keep getting first downs, and you find yourself some plays. Plus, I also think when you talk about pre-snap motions, you talk about all the things that Sean McVay does. I always found that when we were at our best there, sometimes it was some of our best is to be on the road because now the defense can't communicate. And now they've got to adjust all these things when you're moving around and doing these things without being able to hear. So they got to be on the same page. They got to see it the same way. You can mess with their eyes and their vision and steal them looking one way or the other because they can't communicate. It's not silent in their place anymore, those type things. So sometimes it actually plays into your favor a little bit depending on who you are as an offense and your style of football. And so I think there's a world where, I don't hate the Rams being on the road in Philly and in an environment on the grass. I do. I'm not saying they're going to win the game, but I think if you put them in the two places, I think that there's a little bit of an advantage to bad weather, cold weather, grass football, that the Rams are better in that. I think they're just a tick better.
Sounds like you're saying that the Rams fans should be rooting for the Commanders to beat the Bucs and go to Philly instead of going to Detroit. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind it. I think Detroit's a tough place to get in. Same thing, right? When you start talking about great offensive lines and skill players and all that on turf, it's a lot tougher in my opinion. I just think it is. I mean, now granted, yes, the defense has that same footing, but I just think that there's a little bit of if you're not built the exact same way they are, I think there's a little bit of an advantage there. And so, I mean, you look at Jahmyr Gibbs and how fast that dude is. Listen, here's the bottom line. I'll take any way to slow him down just a hair. All right. So if it's grass, if it's ice, dirt, I don't care. Just slow him down a fraction for me, please. I don't care if that means I'm slower too. I just somehow, some way, let's make a play. So, outside of being able to get the Pittsburgh Steelers grass and sand, in SoFi Stadium, I don't know any other way for us to slow them down. So I'm okay with us being outside on the road in the grass.
Wow. You might have just changed my opinion on that.